Hey guys, one of the most common requests I get is for recipes that fit into alternative diets like keto, paleo, gluten-free, and vegan. I do not follow any of these diets, but I love trying new things and I love a good challenge. So after a lot of recipe testing and some serious taste testing,
perfect amount of flavor,
today I'm going to share with you chocolate chip cookies adapted for vegan, keto, and paleo diets. All right, so first up we have the recipe that requires the fewest unusual ingredients because that's usually where I lose you guys. These are vegan chocolate chip cookies, meaning no dairy, and they are so good. Okay, into a medium-sized mixing bowl, you'll add 1 cup flour, half a teaspoon baking soda and a 1/4 teaspoon salt, a 1/4 cup sugar, a 1/4 cup brown sugar, and then give that a good mix. Next, you're gonna add 2 tablespoons almond milk, any flavor you like, 2 tablespoons oil, and a 1/4 teaspoon vanilla. Mix that really well. And if it starts to look like your dough is not gonna come together, you can add more almond milk 1 teaspoon at a time. Once it starts to stick together really well, you can go back in and add 1/3 cup chocolate chips, and we're using vegan chocolate chips to make these vegan cookies. Mix that together with your spoon until the chocolate chips really start to incorporate. Then I like to ball the dough up in my bowl and then dump it onto my countertop. Sometimes it takes a couple tries. Then I can roll it into a log, cover that with saran wrap, and pop it into my freezer for an hour to chill. This is an important step. I'm gonna take my dough out of the freezer and then using a butter knife, cut it into 1/2-inch pieces. I'll put those pieces onto my baking sheet and pop that into a 325-degree oven for 11 minutes. The cookies will appear slightly underdone when you take them out, but they are perfect. Next up we have keto cookies, and a ketogenic diet is 70% fat, 25% protein, and 5% carbohydrate, which is super low. And given how much sugar is usually in cookies, it was a challenge to find a tasty recipe, but we did it. All right, why subject yourself to this diet? The goal of a ketogenic diet is to reach ketosis, which is a metabolic state where your body is burning fat for fuel instead of carbohydrates. All right, into a medium-sized mixing bowl, you're going to add a 1/4 cup softened butter, 2 tablespoons plus 2 teaspoons coconut oil. I used refined. And finally, 6 tablespoons monk fruit, which is a sweetener that has no calories and no carbs. Next, a teaspoon of vanilla and an egg. And then stir to combine. Once that's mixed, you're gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon salt and a 1/4 teaspoon baking soda, a 1/4 teaspoon xanthan gum, which is a strange ingredient that binds everything together. And you'll find it in a lot of keto recipes. Now I need to add 1.5 cups almond flour, a little bit at a time. Next, you're gonna add 6 tablespoons keto chocolate chips, and if you taste them, you'll notice there's no sugar in them. And I'm gonna use my spoon to fold my chocolate chips in. I've got a parchment-lined baking sheet. I'm gonna take about a teaspoon of dough at a time and put it on there and flatten it with my fingers because this one doesn't really spread out. Now this goes into a 350-degree oven for 12 to 14 minutes. To me, these look like the quintessential chocolate chip cookie. All right, now let's talk paleo. The basic concept of a paleo diet is to eat whole foods and avoid processed foods. Think hunter-gatherer. Paleo is really focused on your food choices, whereas keto is focused more on the macronutrients. At least that's what my research tells me. So for this recipe, you're gonna use a food processor, and to it, you're going to add 12 pitted dates and 1 cup of walnuts. You can also use pecans, and run it until it starts to resemble a course meal. And then I'll pulse it a few more times until it starts to form just a little bit of a paste. Now I'm going to add 1 egg, a teaspoon vanilla, 1/8 of a teaspoon sea salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon baking soda. We also experimented with adding a little peanut butter and process until it's combined. I'm gonna remove my blade using a spatula to wipe off any extra dough. And then finally, I'll fold in my dark chocolate chunks. You could also use dark chocolate chips. You are probably noticing this is a very sticky dough and a lot richer in color than the keto and the vegan. I've got another baking sheet lined with parchment paper, and then I'm gonna take a small ice cream scoop to help me form my balls of dough without making my hands a sticky mess. I'm scraping every last bit so you guys think my perfect cookie sheet. And then these go into a 350-degree oven for 9 to 11 minutes. And about 3 to 4 minutes into baking, you wanna go in with some wet fingers and just push your dough down. You can tell just by looking at these cookies that they have an awesome texture. All right guys, I hope this satisfied some of your requests for alternative recipes. My kids have definitely never had more fun taste testing.
All right, trying number 1.
Too sticky as I like there's peanut butter in it.
All right,
I'll get my own.
this is a really good, perfect amount of flavor. Everything about it was right. Okay,
Biggie.
I would like a bit more flavor. I don't really like this one.
Are you full yet?
Not all right, there's a bit more flavor in number 7, I think.
And it has a bit of a better texture.
My win is 5.
So the ones you like are vegan. Vegan means that it has no dairy products in it.
I thought these guys were vegan.
Nope, these are keto.
I hate
It's a special
I
kind of
hate
diet.
keto. That's
You don't
not
like
good.
keto. And these are what we call paleo. Now, you liked the paleo
okay.
better than the keto?
Yeah.
The vegan cookies were a winner by a landslide. They love the texture and the flavor.
10 all the way.
Oh, Brooks is giving it a 10. The paleo ones they did like, but I think the dates were a little bit too strong of a flavor there, so the peanut butter was a nice addition. And for the keto cookies, the texture was definitely a little bit crumbly.
I don't really like the
And it's
texture.
What's wrong with it?
It's too like, needs to be more
Grainy.
sticky.
It's a bit grainy.
Grainy. But what threw them was the lack of a traditional chocolate chip. So if you wanted to mix it up, you could always fake it a little bit and add some real chocolate chips. All right, so let me know in the comments below which one you guys like the most, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. You guys want to know what that one is?
What?
I put sawdust in there.
Nice try.
Broccoli.
Nice try.
Applesauce.